Bullets and signifiers are the symbols used in the bullet journaling system to represent different types of logged information. Bullets are placed at the start of any new entry, while signifiers are typically placed to the left of the bullet for any entries that need them. The bullet represents what type of information we're recording, while signifiers give additional meaning to those entries. Bullets allow us to quickly see the different types of information we're recording in our journals, mainly whether they are actions, experiences, thoughts, or feelings. We describe these as being our tasks, events, and notes. The bullets given to us in the original bullet journal system are a dot for a task, a small circle for an event, and a dash for a note. These bullets can be used to rapid log entries into your journal, and as we do that, we can then quickly scan our eyes down the list of bulleted information and quickly pull out the different types. The task bullet is the one that most people mainly use in their journals, and the reason that we go for a dot is twofold. One is that it's easy to write in, and two is that it can be modified to indicate different things. There are a couple of different ways that we can modify our task bullet, but starting with the bullet itself, when you have an entry that's just represented with a dot, the dot itself means that the task is incomplete. When the task has been completed, you can just cross it off using an X. During migration, we can also choose to transfer entries, and we can modify the bullet into a greater than or less than symbol, depending on where we've moved it in our journal. Effectively, the direction it points in tells you where you've moved it to. If you want to be more specific about where that entry has actually been placed, you can also write a short description after the end of the bulleted information. For any tasks that aren't going to get done, or they're no longer relevant, they may have expired, those ones can get crossed out completely. The task bullet is the one that we mainly modify, but you can also modify your notes bullet. While a regular note just starts with a dash or a little horizontal line, the way we can modify this is when we want to expand on that note further, maybe through long-form journaling or just more rapid logging. If it's something we want to come back to, we can turn that dash into a plus symbol, just by adding a little vertical line to it. While those are the bullets and modified bullets given to us by the original bullet journal system, you can also set up what are called custom bullets, and these are bullets that you decide on for yourself. This is effectively any bullet or type of modification that's outside of the original set, and we would pick these so that we can make our journals as useful as possible to us as individuals. To show you an example, the way that I like to do my task bullet is with a dot, as we had in the original system, but the way I modify these is a little bit different. For instance, I like to be able to indicate that a task has been started but not finished, and for those I'll use a slash or a half cross. For a task that's been migrated, I'll use a little arrow rather than a greater than or less than symbol. It takes a little bit longer to draw, but I like the way that it looks. Rather than completely crossing an entry out if I have decided it's not going to get done, I instead just turn my dot into a little horizontal line, or a dash. The problem that this presents is that is the same as the notes bullet in the original system. So for my notes, I instead either use an exclamation point or a triangle, depending on how I'm feeling in that bullet journal. I do try and keep it consistent within the journal that I'm in though. Currently, I'm using an exclamation point. My events bullet is also a custom bullet in that I don't use a small circle, but I instead make it into a larger one. This means that I can also modify that circle depending on what happens with that event. For events that haven't yet passed, I keep the circle open, but once the event has passed and I did attend, I'll just check it off using a tick. If the event doesn't end up happening because it was cancelled, I'll draw a horizontal line through that circle, but if the event still happened and I just didn't attend, I'll draw a slash through it. This helps me better keep track of any events that I chose not to go to, rather than the ones that just didn't end up happening. For events that have been migrated or pushed to different dates, those ones I can again just use the little arrow, similar to what I use for my tasks. As said, custom bullets are designed by us as individuals. So in designing and picking your custom bullets, make sure that they're ones that you can easily draw, can use consistently, and actually add value to your journaling practice. Along with bullets though, we also have signifiers, and these are used to add additional information to our bulleted entries. The two signifier ideas given to us in the original bullet journal method are an asterisk for a priority task, or one that you want to focus on more specifically, and an exclamation point for a source of inspiration. The possibilities for signifiers are really endless, and really it comes down to what kind of information you want to easily highlight when you're doing your rapid logging. For instance, if you want to be able to pull out any of the tasks related to email from your daily log, maybe having a little icon that represents email might be really useful to you. You can just put those beside any of the tasks that are related to being in your inbox. When it comes to deciding on your set of bullets and signifiers, we are encouraged to keep them at an absolute minimum, just to avoid any kind of confusion or friction when it comes to doing our rapid logging. Rapid logging relies on being able to record information quickly, and if you have too many symbols that you're trying to juggle, it can be difficult to remember which ones mean what things, which ones are going to be useful or suitable in any scenario, so having a smaller set just helps. When it comes to that set of bullet journal symbols that you're using though, this is what we call your bullet journal key. It may be the same as the ones prescribed by the bullet journal system, but it can also include those custom bullets and personalized signifiers that you use in your journal specifically. Typically, your key would be placed at the front of your journal so that it's easily accessible. And if you were looking for more ideas on how you can set up your key, then we do have a separate video on that one. If you were looking for ways to make your key page as useful as possible, then I recommend checking that one out. So click or tap on that one and I'll see you over there.